Welcome to CMC Markets Trend Tracker. Today I'll be covering some major currency pairs for you. Let's dive straight in. First chart I have is the Aussie dollar. I'm using the daily chart. I'm using the 20-day EMA in yellow, the 50-day EMA in dark blue, and I have the stochastics oscillator down the bottom of the chart. Now, before I start and begin with this chart here, just want to say what has happened last week. It's been a big week. The US dollar fell out of bed, and there's reasons for it. Fundamentals move prices, and those prices are reflected on your charts. Last week, we had a market that was full of optimism for a Goldilocks US economy. That means economic growth and falling inflation. This led to risk on, and the Australian dollar shot higher, up 4% against the US dollar to previous resistance around about 69 cents. We had lower US CPI and lower PPI that spurred hopes amongst traders that the Federal Reserve may opt for one more rate hike in 2023. That was a key reason for some big moves last week. You can see on the chart here, the Aussie is shot straight up to 69 cents. We have and it stopped there. We have a possible double top in play. So please look at that technical area there around 69. And for the Aussie to go a bit higher, it does need to pick up momentum by having a clean break, some daily close above 69 cents. But at the time being, we're not seeing that. We're seeing prices fail to break once again at 69 cents. So the week ahead, what we'd like to focus on is a bit of US data, retail sales, IP. We do have Australian employment data, which will be key in determining what the Reserve Bank of Australia may do at its next meeting in the first week of August. And also last week of July, the Federal Reserve does meet. A rate hike is factored in the moment, but will it be the last rate hike? So they're the key issues to focus on when trading the Aussie US on the daily chart. The next chart I'd like to focus on is a Kiwi. As I mentioned, risk on last week helped the Kiwi as well. The Kiwi also up 4% against the weaker US dollar. And very similar to the Aussie chart, the Kiwi hit above 63.80 or 64 cents, but failed. How many times has a Kiwi failed before this year? The traders have seen this all before. I think we've got a quadruple top in play here. So this is key going forward technically. You know, for buyers, Kiwi does need to break above 64 cents and have some daily closes. Otherwise, we have a quadruple top in place. What we have coming up this week is US data, as I mentioned, retail sales, IP, but New Zealand CPI. That's going to be crucial because the last Reserve Bank of New Zealand meeting, they were on hold. New Zealand cash rate is 5.5%. Is there another reason to be hiking interest rates again? But it does seem like the RBNZ is on hold. So they're the key issues to focus on. And then the last week of July is the Federal Reserve meeting where there is a 25 basis point hike priced in. The final chart is the mighty US dollar yen. It was mighty in the last video that we had, but since then we have had a very sharp sell-off in the US dollar. As I mentioned, that was due to softer US CPI and PPI, and that saw the uptrend break in this chart. Uptrend was intact since March this year. It broke very cleanly. Stochastics also picked the turning point as well at the start of last week. And you've now got the EMAs, the 20 and 50, turning a little bit south. So quite a clean break of the uptrend in US dollar versus yen. And what I've also popped on this chart here are the white lines there, Fibonacci retracement levels. When prices are correcting, it can be quite helpful to use Fibonacci retracements. And you'll see here that the dollar yen fell back very sharply to its 50% retracement at 137.15. So the question is from here, can dollar yen fall further to the 61.8% at 135.35? Or does it bounce from this level here and continue the uptrend that we've been in throughout 2023? And that question will be answered by the results of the Japanese trade data this week. More importantly, the Japanese CPI coming out this week as well, where prices are expected to increase from 3.2% up to 3.5%. And again, I can't stress enough, the last week of July, you'll have the Federal Reserve meeting where a 25 basis points hike is factored in, but will it be the last for 2023? So they're the key economic events coming up. as well as the technicals here that you have to focus on when trading the Aussie, the Kiwi, and the dollar yen on daily charts. So that concludes today's analysis of the currencies. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe below, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. I'll see you in the next video.